I hope all of you are enjoying your Halloween, and I know because of quarantine, a lot of you guys can't go trick-or-treating.
But you can also go trick-or-treating if you want, I guess.
I don't think
I thought it was
so.
canceled.
Might as well try.
I thought it'd be a really fun idea to do a scary story podcast with Nelly, Theo, Seon, and Elias all together here. Paranormal activities.
High-def camera on. My girlfriend Katie, she thinks there's something in the house. I don't know.
You believe me, right?
What do you guys know about paranormal activities?
Oh no.
Like the movie or just
Or
like
real life.
paranormal activity in general?
Both. Well, in general.
I think we're gonna have a very interesting time capturing whatever paranormal phenomena is occurring or is not occurring.
The movies suck.
What?
Because I'm scared.
Ghosts, spooky demons,
Beyond the darkness,
Like, I've watched plenty of movies.
beyond the grave,
possession.
to an unexplored dimension.
I don't know what you're trying to get us to talk about here.
Talking about what, good and evil?
You guys suck at this. Today I wanted to talk about poltergeists or paranormal activity.
The very first strange thing that happened.
Bookshelves flying off, objects moving,
I kind of thought it was a joke.
hearing weird sounds outside your room, the closet opening and closing when you don't think it's opening and closing, hearing sound underneath your bed.
But then we started finding things stacked or arranged in certain ways.
Those types of stories.
Probably my brother or something.
Oh. And we found a bunch of stories all over the internet. Some are from subreddits, some are from just Google, others are from news outlets saying that it's a true story that happened.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Well, we only collected stories that say that these things actually
Do
happened.
you believe in ghosts?
No, not really poltergeist kind of stuff. But it's fun to talk about stories like these because people really believe that they're true.
Some people believe it's true. Like, they say that they've experienced themselves, and obviously, if you don't really experience it, like paranormal activity, you're obviously gonna be skeptical.
Say what? Why are you looking around?
The TV.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just the light went off, so I
Oh.
got scared.
Oh,
Something got dark right there.
It's not the
Some people do say when you're talking about ghosts is when they're the closest to you. Okay, all right. So the first story is called The Haunted Elsa.
Wait, did I hear that right? Elsa?
Elsa,
Yeah,
is this
Elsa.
Frozen
Why do I
3?
just think of Frozen?
Yeah.
Evening, gentlemen. Why are you on my mountain?
A girl living in the Houston area received a Frozen's Elsa doll as a present. The doll sang Let It Go in English when someone pressed the neck. Holy crap, you have to press the neck for it to sing?
That's so
Sing
wrong.
it in a different language if you press it somewhere else?
I don't know.
You're just touching her toes as she's saying it in Japanese?
Yeah.
My dog would just go on town with that doll.
Oh.
It would just spam Let It Go. I was just gnawing on the doll.
The doll sang for 2 years in English, but later it started singing the song in Spanish as well. According to the family, there wasn't any button to change the language.
No, this family's just racist. It's just losing battery, and it's singing at a lower pitch than normal, and they're just saying this is Spanish. Like 100%.
The doll will start singing randomly or speak even though the switches were off. The family did not replace the batteries for 6 years.
What a coincidence.
Oh yeah, maybe you're right. The battery is running out then.
I've never had something last that long.
At last, they threw away the doll in the garbage. Weeks later, the family found the doll again on their living room bench. After that, they tried to get rid of the doll multiple times, but it always ended up being somewhere in the house.
This sounds just like Annabelle.
So the solution is we eat the doll.
If it looks like Elsa and it's moving, is that really a bad thing?
It can look like anything and be moving, and that's probably pretty creepy.
I mean, if
Yeah.
it looks like Chucky, then it's kind of creepy. But if it's Elsa,
Anything that's talking when it's not supposed to be talking, it's just like in the middle of your house is scary.
That's true.
But yeah.
So we're eating it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what if you eat it and it still comes back?
Wait, that's kind of cool.
that's cool.
That's kind of interesting.
Never underestimate the power of snow and ice.
By that time, Elsa stopped operating in English and could only sing and speak in Spanish. The doll could have not been implanted by other people because the owner marked her Elsa. The family ended up sending the doll to their friends somewhere far, hoping that it would never come back to their own
that's
house.
terrible.
That is the worst.
That is so selfish.
Worst friend ever.
So funny.
Hopefully the friend agreed to it.
Hopefully the friend was like really into
Frozen.
or like ghosts and
Yeah.
stuff.
So funny.
Because some people collect cursed items, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So was it singing something from the Frozen, or is it just speaking random things?
So the doll is possessed by Spanish.
Wait, how does Let It go in Spanish?
I should know this,
You should
but I
know
don't
this.
know.
How do you say "let it go" in Spanish?
If any of us other than Say does a rendition, it's just gonna sound really racist.
Because you know how in Korean too, it's not the actual "let it go" translation; it's something else. So I don't really know.
Yeah, in Korean it's like forget it all.
Ichima. Ichima.
다이죠.
Don't go wrong.
Okay, I'll stop.
It's translated or it's sang "libre soy," which means "I am free" or "free I am."
No.
Ah,
Libre soy.
I am free.
Wait.
Oh, that's even scarier.
That's a Ultron stream.
I am free.
Yeah, free at my friend's house.
Okay, so the next story is called the Axe Murder House. Many people, paranormal investigators, visit the world-renowned Villisca Axe Murder House in Iowa. The background of this house is in 1912, 2 adults and 6 children were murdered, and the murderer was not caught because the investigation techniques were not good enough back then. The only clue found were some gouge marks across the bedroom ceiling from an axe. Many visitors claim that they see a man
Wait, the
with
ceiling?
yeah.
So is he just like throwing the axe at people and he just misses so it ricochets, hits the ceiling, and then like
Or
hits
maybe
the
when
floor?
he swings like this, it like caught on the ceiling a little bit before it came down.
Okay, well, like these people kind of deserve to get killed at this point. If there's 2 adults and wait, is it all at once?
Apparently, or some theorize that the murderer just had an axe and went running around like just swinging it,
Oh.
killing everyone.
Kind of funny
But
though.
we don't know.
That really is funny.
Wow, haha, very funny.
That's so
Theo-
funny, Nelly.
Nelly, that's hilarious.
Yeah, but if there's that many of us, there's no way. Like, okay, if there's multiple people, right? There's no way one person with an axe should kill like
Yeah, like can't they
14
just
of us.
team up against him?
I'm pretty confident if I'm with like 2 other people, one guy with an axe is only kind of scary. But I'm throwing the person I like least first, and then I'm going in.
Okay.
Because like if the axe is stuck in him, right? It's not hitting me. So it's just because an axe is like a very blunt object. Like there's no way he's not hitting you and then pulling it out. It's just like pull it out really hard, right?
Yeah, it's true.
And then I'm killing him.
But what if he's really jacked? So he just pulls it out quickly.
If he's really jacked, then you just avoid him in general. Like,
That's true.
Many visitors claim that they see a man with an axe roaming across the hallways, that they hear desperate cries of children, or that they end up being trapped in the bedroom closet where one of the murdered children was hiding from the attacker. All these claims aside, in 2014, one of the visitors was rushed to the hospital after being found by his friends with a self-inflicted stab wound to his chest. The incident happened at 12:45 a.m., which was around the same time the Moores family was murdered.
At 12:45
And then
a.m.
it said that he stabbed himself in the chest.
Right after midnight, he came to the hospital because he stabbed himself in the chest. Something happened during that time.
Well, yeah, they said it. He stabbed himself in the chest.
No, but then like maybe like a ghost.
Did he die?
I
Or
don't-
did he live to tell the tale?
He didn't commentate on what happened that night.
Oh, it was just so traumatizing, I guess.
He definitely just stabbed himself. He definitely tripped, stabbed himself in the chest, and he's just so embarrassed that he
Yeah,
doesn't
I-
want
that's what I
anyone to
think
hear
too.
about it. He's like, honestly, man, I was trying to prank my friends. I was with my friends in the house, and I was chasing them with a knife, thinking they'd get scared, and I tripped, fell, and the knife fell into my chest.
You could be right.
yeah, that's the most probable scenario.
Or maybe they're just messing with the Ouija board and something went wrong.
As a child, who hasn't dreamed of a favorite doll or a teddy bear coming to life and being a very best friend forever and ever?
This is a story of a doll called Robert.
Robert Eugene Otto had a doll who stayed with him his whole life.
All right, this is weird.
Why?
A doll called Robert.
Who names their doll Robert?
Apparently,
That is not a cute. I'm sorry. If your name is Robert, you do not have a cute name. Robert?
Okay, Nelson.
Yeah, that's why I'm Nelly. It's a cute name.
Maybe they called him
Robert.
Bobby.
That's not cute.
No, okay.
Robbie?
Apparently, this is the source of inspiration for the famous movie called Chucky. Why?
Just something about like if Chucky was named Robert instead. Like they just had to change the name. It's just such a crappy name. Like that's why it's not Robert. It's Chucky. Like even they know, they're just like, this is not gonna sell.
Yeah.
Hey, this isn't even scary. His name's Robert.
Motherfucker. It doesn't pertain to the story.
Okay. Anyways, continue with Robert the doll.
Okay, in 1909, Key West painter and author Robert Eugene Otto claimed that one of his family's servant placed a voodoo curse on his childhood toy.
It was the perfect likeness of the young boy and was even named Robert after him.
Wait, so Robert named his doll Robert?
Oh my
Oh my god.
What is wrong with this guy?
He was a kid, I think. Like, he was a kid.
Oh, he was a
so he
kid,
just
okay.
named his
I
dog
guess
with the
like
same
Robert Jr. or something, you know.
Yeah,
Interesting.
As a young boy, Eugene developed a strange fascination with Robert. He spent long hours alone with his doll, talking to it.
So Robert would just be sitting alone at home, right?
You
Playing
mean the
with his
kid
doll?
or the doll?
The kid.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So the kid would be sitting around, right? And Robert the doll would be across the house. But then something would be knocked over. Furnitures, little plates. So the kid would go to the room to check out what happened. And the doll would be in that room whilst all this furniture and plates were broken.
It's basically that movie we saw last time.
What?
The boy.
Oh, the boy.
Oh, the boy.
Yeah.
And when anything went wrong at home, Eugene always knew who to blame. It was Robert, he would tell his parents. Robert did it. Robert did it.
You know, this could easily just be like the fact that the kid broke all this furniture. He's like, oh, the doll did it.
Oh. Yeah, it could be. Yeah. Right? I mean, this happened,
Damn,
right?
and this is
Apparently.
the torturous tale
I would
of
totally make that lie up as a kid.
This is the torturous tale of like an abused kid that's just getting beat because of a cursed doll. And then when he dies, he becomes a doll himself, and everyone that haunts the house.
Apparently.
Okay, just cut off my story. It's fine. It's fine.
So apparently what freaked out the author, Robert Eugene Otto, the most is he would place the doll in one side of the room, and while the kid was out playing, he would then check the doll later, and the doll would be at a different location in the house.
It's the servant or someone else.
Oh.
No?
Yeah, it could be the servant just playing a prank.
Lamau, get pranked.
It's just a prank.
I don't get paid enough.
Robert was seated at the window looking out over the street. Children on their way to school said they saw Robert through the windows moving about the turret room, glowering at them.
So Eugene Otto, being freaked out, placed the doll in the attic until his death in 1974. But the new family who moved into his place also claimed to experience mysterious activities revolving around that doll.
The new owners discovered him soon after moving in. They took one look at Robert and knew that this, whatever it was something they definitely didn't want in their home.
So apparently they left the doll in the house when a new family came in.
Well, that feels bad.
What is up with these people? And like when they feel like a doll is cursed, they just give it to another family.
Yeah, that's the play.
Imagine cursing a sex doll.
Okay, all right.
That'll be.
We call
All
it
right. No, we can put that in. It's just we just gotta judge Theo for saying that. Listen, Theo, you need help.
I don't know why I thought of that for some reason.
I don't know why you thought of that either.
Apparently, this doll is still in a museum somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, this is like a real doll.
thing.
Yeah, at Key West's Fort East Martello Museum.
Awaiting visitors in the East Martello Museum, where he holds an eerie fascination for everyone who sees him.
And then we'll steal it.
Yeah, and then we'll curse it with a sex doll, and the sex doll will be called.
It'll be Roberta. No. What
No.
This story was from r/Ask Reddit. They were asking what's the creepiest, scariest, strangest story that you experienced yourself. And this is a story from r/Hale's cheerleader.
Okay.
Thank you for the story.
While growing up, he had a neighbor kid across the street. Now, this girl told the entire school that she saw adults with knives in her backyard because on her backyard there was a forest. She would tell this so convincingly that people freaked out, and so all the dads from that school got together one day and they searched the entire forest, but they found nothing. They just found some like crackers and like Hot Pocket wrappers. And
Wait, did they eat them?
No.
Wait, when was this?
Oh, this was years ago.
Years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, this is useless then.
Like 10 to 15 years
10
ago.
to 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
And after that incident, all the neighborhood kids refused to like go near her and they didn't play with her.
Oh, it feels bad.
Yeah. Because she made up this big lie. So a few years passed and this kid's parents got a divorce, and so
The girls or?
no. The kid.
Oh,
that's
the main character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hale's cheerleader.
Cheerleader.
So this guy, let's just call him Joe. Okay?
Joe. Okay.
Joe. The guy that's telling the story is Joe.
Joe Mama.
Joe Mama.
Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
I have a question.
yeah.
So Matt told her that there were people with knives, or she
Or
just
she just
said
saw
it?
it.
She just said it.
Oh,
back
okay,
then.
okay.
But a few years passed, and Joe's parents got a divorce.
Yep.
While Joe's dad was moving out,
Yep.
the little girl came out and said Matt didn't like the fact that your parents were getting a divorce. And so Joe was like, who, what are you talking about? Who's Matt? Who cares?
Joe's just like, I don't like it either, but it's not my choice.
Yeah,
like, what?
exactly.
What do you want me to do about it?
And apparently Joe's dad was still friends with this little girl's parents. And the little girl's parents told Joe's dad that Matt was her imaginary friend.
Oh, okay.
Or her parents are lying. Maybe. Who knows?
Apparently, this imaginary friend would often get too physical.
What?
Yeah.
This doesn't sound like an imaginary friend anymore.
Her parents told Joe's dad that Matt could control lights, make powers go out, and Matt would knock on the door at night. And if she didn't answer the door, the banging would get louder.
What do you want, Matt?
Before you explained this,
Try
right?
to sleep, Matt.
When you explained that her imaginary friend would get physical, I just imagined this little girl running into a wall and her dad's like, what are you doing? And she's like, Matt pushed me into the wall. And she's like bashing her head against the wall. Her dad's like, what is wrong with my daughter?
Yeah. After another 2 years passed, and Joe's dad decided to invite this little girl's entire family over for dinner. Now, Joe begged his dad not to do it, but he was like, just be nice, kid. Like, just be
at Joe's house, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And they all came to Joe's house, right? And the parents were having dinner. And so Joe invited the little girl into his room.
Wait a second. Let's go, Joe.
So Joe...
No, Nelly.
No, nothing like that.
you imagine will happen.
Okay, never mind.
Now, Joe had a new TV. And so Joe turned on the new TV to let her see and watch. And
Netflix and chill.
so he turned on the TV and tried to play a DVD.
Okay.
And he says, and I quote, "I shit you not, but out of nowhere, mid-conversation, in the most deadpan voice, she said, 'Matt's here.'"
They're here.
And at that exact moment, the lights flickered and I effing ran out of my room crying.
Holy fuck.
Apparently, her parents came rushing in the room and dragged their daughter out.
Bro, does he not like the movie? What's wrong with Matt?
And then this kid, right, Joe, then refused to go in his room for weeks. And this was so traumatizing. To this day, when he's writing this story, if lights flicker, he freaks the fudge out.
That's really sad.
Yeah. And he says this is, there's no way for him to like make people believe what he says, but it's one of those events as a kid that he just can't forget.
That is pretty spooky.
100%. It's just like the dad meme.
But the parents know about Matt, like what he does?
Yeah.
So that's why they rushed into the room to...
Well, we don't know.
See, like,
As far as I'm concerned, these are just bad parents, right? Like, you don't, if a spirit is following my daughter, why are we bringing my daughter everywhere?
No, just go to church and pray. you know?
like we are getting my daughter exercised.
Yeah, dude.
Why am I going to my friend's house to have a nice little dinner when Matt's following her around? That is not okay.
Oh my god.
At this point, just baptize her. Just put some sage perfume on her. You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
that or we're drowning her because I'm not living with Matt in my life anymore. I'm done with this.
Yeah, dude, there's no way. Like, even as a kid, when you have imaginary friends, like my imaginary friend was a bear. Like, that was it. Like, imagine having an imaginary friend that knocks on your door at the middle of the night and bangs it harder every time you don't answer it. These stories aren't that scary, but if you imagine that they're real, how freaky would that be, right?
I would freak out.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I would not babysit that kid. If I
course
babysit
not.
a kid and they're like, I have an imaginary friend named Matt and he gets physical, I'd be like, I'm done. Leave.
I'd be like,
get
what?
out.
I would just, excuse me?
like, I would actually ask for like an incentive. Like, you want me to take care of your creepy daughter? Give me more money.
Here's a cross. Just wear this 24/7.
And before the cross turns upside down. Oh
my
God, that'd be so
Yo,
scary.
that'd be
But also, how much money?
How much money would it take for you to babysit a kid who truly believes that she has an imaginary friend who can physically harm her, and her parents being so freaked out about her that they don't let her play with any other kids?
Can I tie her up?
Well, they let you babysit her, so you do what
So
you
I
gotta
can't?
do.
Oh yeah, she's getting tied up and she sits in the corner.
What if she's tied up, but then when you leave the room and come back in, everything's just broken everywhere, and she's still tied up, and she's like, Matt,
I'd be like, dang, you flexible. Like, I thought I could do a good knot, but I guess not. Like, what in the world? And then like,
Nelly's just in denial.
Yeah,
He's
no,
like,
that's not a
it can't
ghost."
be a spirit.
100%. There's no way.
What's Matt? Always has been.
Like, no, it was you. Peace out. You can clean this mess up. I don't get paid enough for this.
The next story is called The Hanging Lady of the Staircase.
No.
Oh. Is this a scary one? I haven't read this one.
I don't know.
I feel like I recognize the name of the story already.
When my little brother was 4, he used to get really scared walking upstairs alone. None of the family really knew why. One evening, I volunteered to take little bro upstairs, and about 3/4 of the way up, my brother shouted, "Stop!" It was so abrupt that he looked terrified. He said, "We have to wait for the lady to let us pass." I was immediately shaken. After a moment, little bro turned to me with a smile and said, "She let us pass. She likes you." At this point, I was freaked out. I told our mother about it the next morning, and she turned white. She told me that our family was able to afford the house because it was dirt cheap due to a woman in her 60s who had hanged herself from the banisters over the stairs.
What?
Damn.
But how come only the little brother went upstairs all the time? Don't they have rooms upstairs?
No, I'm guessing like the older brother just went upstairs without...
Everyone just went upstairs like normal, except the little brother was scared of the pathway, I think.
Yeah, maybe like, since the lady already liked the older brother, maybe it didn't matter.
I guess it's a good spirit.
The lady just doesn't like the little brother.
Yeah, maybe the little brother was just a little turd. This one sounds fake. I mean,
I might question that.
when people say like, "Oh yeah, a person died in this house 25 years ago."
Yeah, then you don't buy the house.
Yeah.
It's kind of
No,
straightforward.
dude, I would totally buy that house. If somebody said, "Oh yeah, this amazing house in Vancouver goes for 500 grand because it's haunted," I'd be like, "Okay, cool,
Yeah,
give me the house."
No.
For your reference, Vancouver houses are so expensive.
I didn't add this story to the list because it wasn't scary.
Yeah.
Per se, it had a dumb ending, and I didn't put it on here, so I don't know who told it. So I'm sorry, whoever told it, if you're listening. But it's a really cool one,
Okay.
and I'm gonna tell it in first person because it's better.
Yeah, it might be better.
Me and my buddy went camping. We rented out the smallest RV we could find, and then we arrived during the night. This camping ground looked really scary because the forest was super packed. But I just wanted to get some sleep and have a fresh start in the morning. So we went to bed in the RV, but then I wanted to adjust my body because I felt really stiff around my neck. And so I got up to adjust, and then I saw outside the mirror, somebody was staring at us. I could see him, he was far away, but then I felt like he was slowly approaching us. You could tell he was staring right at him because you could see his eyes, but that was about it. Everything else was a silhouette. So I remained eye contact with them to see how long it takes before he just walks away. Probably somebody
weak
drunk,
play.
right?
That's a weak play. You turn on the car. It's an RV. You just and then you start honking that horn. Like, stop staring at me, or I'm gonna kill you.
I just stared at him for a couple minutes, and I woke up my friend, but I never broke eye contact.
Okay.
My friend got up and he saw the guy that was staring right at the RV as well, and he freaked out. I just thought maybe I could scare him off and said, "Hey!" But then the guy seemed to get closer. My buddy, freaking out, said, "What are we gonna do? What's this guy doing?" And we tried to joke off our fear away, but it did not work.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where you hit him with the car.
So my friend got his flashlight and he decided to flash on this person to see if we can make him go away. But that was when we realized our mistake. When we flashed on this silhouette,
It's just you.
yeah, the light reflected off of that person and came right into my eyes. Turns out I was just staring at myself in a mirror of a washroom that was pretty far away. I know this story has a dumb ending, but when it happened, I really thought we were all gonna die. That's how the story went.
That would have been so
funny.
much worse if you just started the car and you just tried to hit it and you just ran into the washroom and you just hit the building and you're sitting there like, I'm a dumbass.
Now this is, I know, we all know this is a real story.
This actually happened to me.
Yeah.
And something I'll probably never forget.
Yeah.
Not the mirror. Not the mirror.
mirror.
What happened?
This is why Theo doesn't want to go camping.
Well, I
have
would
a fear of
understand
camping.
Yeah.
after hearing this
I don't know
story.
this story.
Yeah, so this was back when I was in Calgary, and me and my dad just decided to go camping in Jasper, father and son bonding time. And there was a campground, but we kind of strayed away from that. There was like a river across. We camped where there was like flat ground, like near a hill. And mind you, there's a lot of elks there. So like there's like signs like beware of elks and all that. Nothing really scary happened during the night. I don't remember. But the next morning, like I remember just waking up to smell, just like a foul smell. I wake up, I hear my dad swear. He's like, what the fuck? And then behind our tent, like there's a giant tree, right? And there's a dead deer tied upside down with its guts open.
What?
Yeah.
But you didn't do it?
We didn't do it. That's the strange part. And like, it's just so mind-boggling because I'm just like, why would you waste elk meat like that?
Isn't that like dry it out and stuff, isn't it? Or something like that? Like that's
No,
a
but
process for hunting.
Its
and I'm pretty-
organs were just like
Oh, that's weird.
Dangling?
like dangling out.
That's
Flies
insane.
everywhere. I'm just
Was the cut clean like it was done by a knife?
No, it was
or-
just like not clean.
It was tied up to the tree.
Yeah,
Were you
just
guys
blood
in a,
everywhere.
Where did you like in a tent?
Yeah, in the tent.
Oh, that's so scary.
So it was right behind your tent,
Yeah.
right? So it wasn't there before you guys went to bed.
No.
So somebody, while you guys are sleeping, gutted a deer,
Yeah.
put it upside down, and just left it.
Just left it there.
Yeah, you definitely weren't supposed to camp there.
Dude.
They're just like, you're not going here anymore.
Oh my god, that
You tell me you guys left right away, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
dude,
of course.
that would
I
be
don't
it.
even think I'd pack up the tent. 100%, I leave the tent and we just drive away.
Ever since that, I just like I haven't camped much.
I would assume.
Wow.
That's so messed up.
I don't think it's paranormal. It's just like some
No,
dude
but
like playing a prank
No,
or some
by
shit.
definition,
but
that's
it's
paranormal.
That's a really bad prank.
yeah.
okay, first of all, that person would have had to have a gun to kill this deer.
Yeah.
Two, the ability to kill a deer, gut it, tie it upside down without making enough noise to wake you up.
Oh,
And
yeah.
three, be willing to waste entire like elk meat.
Yeah.
That's like 400 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, it is not
like this guy
to-
did it on his own. I can't imagine myself at like even at the peak of my strength.
Even
being-
now, I still like question. I'm just
Imagine
what
like
the-
it's like 10 people doing it.
Yeah, if-
'Cause it's
if-
probably like more than one person, right? It's
How
like 10
scary
people
that
and they're
is.
all just like tiptoeing around Theo's like tent.
Yeah, but you guys like Theo and him were like they were sleeping, right? Theo and his dad, they were sleeping, and this happened.
they'd have to do it at like when we were deep sleep.
Yeah, it has to be more than one person.
Yeah.
That means they planned this.
How fast do they have to plan it?
Did you see anybody nearby?
No.
So they left. They didn't even get to see their prank.
Yeah.
This isn't even a prank. Like I don't get it.
It just felt really ominous. The whole.
That's really
Yeah.
weird.
yeah.
Yo,
Did you take any pictures?
Why? It's so disgusting. I still have the image in my head.
Do any of you guys have real life event stories?
No, not really.
I mean, living in Honduras.
Yeah, I mean, Say's entire life is just the horror story. Say really lived in like a ghetto country for a long time.
Yeah.
It was so ghetto that when I called her while she was back in that country, I heard fireworks, right? And I'm just like, oh my gosh, why are they doing fire? Is it like a holiday there? And she's just super casual, right? Not even a blink. She's like, oh no, that's just gunshots. And I'm just like, what? And then she goes right back to like a different topic. Like we're talking about anime, and she talks as if it's like, oh yeah, no, that's just a car driving by. Anyway, I really liked My Hero Academia. I'm just like, no, we don't get to do that. You don't get to just pass that by like it's a
What are you doing right now? No, I'm just laying down on the ground because they're shooting through our house.
Just normal life.
anyway.
Anyway?
This is also a true story. Apparently, I heard it from a Korean celebrity. According to him, it really happened when he was a kid. So in Korea, right, like back 30, 40 years ago, there was a lot of houses that were built. Some houses weren't quite finished, but then they would just give up on it and they would leave. And these houses would become just an abandoned house. And there would be like one or two abandoned houses in every small town. And so him and a group of his friends decided to go into this house. And they're gonna go in, they're gonna go through the house, and the back of the house there was a small pool that was empty. They said they were gonna pee in that pool and come out. And this was supposed to be like a test of their masculine.
Such a stupid thing to do.
It was supposed to test their bravery as a kid,
All right,
right?
boys, this weekend, me, you, all of the guys, we're peeing in that pool. Like, that's your plan? Like, that's, you know for a fact that, okay, like, what? What's the point of this? It's just gonna stink.
Yeah, I know. So 6 of them said they would go, but only 4 of them showed up. So him and these 3 guys were at the door, right? And they tried to open it, but it was locked. They would try to open it constantly and it would not open. So one guy kicked the door saying, dang it, it won't open, whatever. And then as soon as they turned around, the door just flung right open. And then one of the kid ran away because he was scared. And then so there was 3 of them left.
Oh no, he's smart.
No, he's a smart kid.
Smart
And
kid.
so the 3 of them were left, and they're like, okay, guys, it's just the 3 of us. Let's go in. They started walking in the house, right? And it was just like any abandoned building, right? It was really just dark and creepy. So they kept on walking, and the more they walked, the more they felt like they should really leave. But they were so scared. They were like, come on, guys. Like, this is brotherhood. None of us leave each other. None of us leave each other. And they walked all the way to the pool. Time to pee. As soon as they put the zipper down, one kid ran away because he was scared.
You know what's so crappy about this story?
What?
You can do this at a normal rec center or pool.
What do you mean?
You've never peed in the pool?
I mean, I'm gonna admit I have done it.
Not a pool. Beach. I've peed in beach. Like,
I feel
in a
like
beach all the
everyone
time.
just
I've done
pees
it
in
at
the
once.
pool.
Yeah.
in a pool?
Yeah,
yeah.
at the rec center, I felt like everyone just peed in the pool.
Wouldn't it show?
No?
No, it won't
There's
show.
so much chlorine in
Yeah,
it.
there's a lot of chlorine.
Okay, well, that's the scariest thing I've heard all day.
Like, they don't have to go to an abandoned house. They can just pee in the pool at like a couple blocks away.
So it was just this guy who's telling the story, right? It was just him and his friend. And the guy begged his friend, please don't like run away. So they both peed on the pool, right?
Yeah.
They were like, okay. So they went back in the house again to go out at the front door, right? They held hands because they were so scared. They were walking, and the guy, he swears this happened. He felt a hand touch his shoulder. As soon as he felt the hand touch his shoulder, he let go of he like pushed his friend away, let go of his hand, and sprinted outside. When he sprinted outside, the door behind him, the front door behind him closed.
Oh no.
And so the guy is now stuck in this house, and he's slamming on the door to open it. Like, please open this door, right?
Imagine.
And the main character, like the guy that's telling the story, is like trying to open the door from the outside too, but the door would not budge.
What is wrong with that door?
Dude, imagine you're just like, please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. Please don't. And then you just sprint out. Like,
That's basically what happened.
The whole time he's just like hyping his friend up. He's like, yo, don't worry, man.
I got
Ghosts
you.
don't exist. Like, yo, we're good together.
Yeah, we're masculine men.
And then the very first second anything happens, he just leaves his friend.
Oh no.
I know, it's so bad. His friend who was stuck inside kept on screaming, right? Like, please let me out. Ah! And then silence, like deadpan silence. And for a moment, he thought that he was gonna end up in jail because he just let his friend die. He was like going around the house trying to get in, right? And eventually he managed to get in the house through one of the windows, and he just saw the kid passed out without being able to talk or anything. So he calls the hospital, and they go to the hospital. The kid's fine. He was just shocked, and he just passed out. So he wakes up, and he asks his friend what happened inside. And his friend is like, all right, well, you're not gonna believe me. And his friend's like, no, I'll believe you. Okay, I'll tell you what happened. When the door didn't open, I tried to turn around and go back to where the pool was, because at least that's outside. But when I turned the door, I swear to God, I saw a face. And it was far away for 1 second, and it was right in front of me the next moment. And this face just stared at me. I could not make a single sound. And the face just said, you're not gonna tell anyone, right? And then I passed out.
Well, he just told someone.
Yeah, well.
Time to die.
But then this is like one of those friend told a friend told a friend.
Yeah,
Not telling me. So I feel like some of it's exaggerated.
Yeah.
But I cannot believe how dumb do you have to be to go pee in an abandoned building and then ditch your friend at the last second.
Moral of the story is just be those 2 kids that didn't show up.
Yes.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, we're gonna go pee in that pool. Yeah, no,
Nope,
screw those
nope.
kids. Like, no,
Oh,
there's
yeah,
no
I'll
way.
show up. I'll show up.
Moral of the story, just don't pee in the pool.
Exactly.
So dumb.
Oh, I know a scary story.
What?
Is it for, if it's for Honduras, I don't think I want to hear it.
No, it's in Vancouver. It's in Vancouver.
Okay,
She's talking
okay.
about like her friend getting kidnapped. Like, no, it really happened.
Oh no,
It's just-
it did happen.
yeah.
I already told you guys.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's the story when before I started dating Daniel, Theo, and another friend, we all went to empty school behind McDonald's.
Oh, wait,
my
I remember
God,
this.
I remember that.
And then
yeah.
we were telling scary stories to each other, but then all of a sudden, Theo takes off his shirt and does the Naruto run.
And then we all screamed in fear.
What in the world?
I remember. Yeah, we were just all chilling, and then Theo just takes off his shirt.
He's possessed. He just run away.
So you were like naked, belt up.
I wasn't fully naked.
No,
just a shirt
half
off.
naked.
Belt up, yeah.
But it was winter. So that's my scary story.
Does that count as a story?
Totally.
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
We started this off as like a poltergeist thing, but it just ended up being a scary story thing. I wanted to do a poltergeist thing because it fascinates me that people see objects moving around their house. And like, I know 90% of it's just a hoax, right? People just lie. But that 10% of people who say it and they actually believe that it happened, how spooky would that be for the rest of your life?
I mean, like, I've had sleep paralysis and then, like, where you can kind of see around your room. And then I've seen, like, positions of things change in my room before. But, like, I always just figured it was, like, a nightmare as opposed to anything else.
Do you guys think ghosts are real? Do you think you will ever see a ghost in your life?
If I'll see a ghost in my life, most likely not, unless I try to put myself in a position where I'm constantly
because I was just about to say, if you don't, you guys want to try going to one of these haunted places for a night?
I'm actually down.
The Axe Murder House, it costs $400 per night.
And you can rent it, like actually like rent the whole house.
Cool.
I think so.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, that's kind of
You
nice.
can totally do it.
I'll chase you guys with an axe.
No, you'll end up stabbing yourself.
Yeah, you're gonna be in the hospital.
If we actually do this, we should invest in some like ghost equipment. Maybe a Ouija board.
Oh, no.
Okay,
No,
nah,
that's
nah.
bad.
Ouija board. Do you know why that whenever you try to summon up ghosts, or whenever these little activity of poltergeist and paranormal activities happen, it's always somebody bad. It's always somebody who's reluctant to help you. Somebody's trying to prank you, or somebody who's trying to make your life miserable.
I just figured if you were a good spirit, you'd just go to heaven.
Yeah, that too. And do you know why you should never use something like Ouija boards or those like Charlie things, or those anything that you see on the internet that says, oh yeah, this will summon up a spirit? You know why you should never do them?
Because you're dumb?
Yeah, actually, that's the reason.
That is one reason.
Yeah, that's true. That they are pretty stupid. But the mystery behind why, and while I was doing research on these poltergeist stories, I learned about this, is people believe that you should never use an Ouija board or these simple spirit summoning techniques, because to summon a good spirit, people spend hundreds to thousands of dollars in food, in gifts, in rituals, and dances, long dances. Some people in Korea spend days dancing to summon the good spirit from heaven, because that's how much effort it takes to convince somebody in heaven or in the good place to come down and help you. Otherwise, they don't see the point, right?
Yeah.
But if you try to summon a random spirit, any spirit, with a $10 Ouija board, then the only spirits that'll ever come is a spirit that has a lot of reason to leave where they are.
I mean,
makes
like,
sense.
that's what I always figured.
From all the stories, I thought that was the scariest.
I don't think that's the scary. I mean, like, that's like the most logical if spirits exist.
Yeah, but like, I like how there's even a logic in this like spirit system, because it's all BS, right? It's all stupid.
That's what you think.
But the fact that they have rules about these things and there's a reason behind it, I just thought it was hilarious.
Dude, I'm gonna like disappear tomorrow. Like, you're gonna see it in the news. Like,
oh no.
The most scary thing is girls ghosting you.
Scariest ghosts.
That's the scariest kind of ghost.
I have witnessed this firsthand.
I mean, obviously we don't believe in any of this, so, but I always get kind of goosebumps talking about it, and it's always kind of nice to get chills down your spine, especially this time of year. If you guys listened this far, thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Halloween celebration, or whatever you guys do on Halloween. Have fun, right? That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, favorite, subscribe,
No, you
etc.
don't have to do that.
No, but you should.
Okay. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Have a good night. Bye.
Matt is here.
Bye.
What?
I said Madison. Okay, good stuff.